Hello, what's up? It's Son of Chaos, and welcome to my new series that called Chaos Talks, where I basically talk about online romance scams and basically, do a commentary on scamfish episodes. While I'm making episode about scamfish and other stuff. Okay, but real talk for a second, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I am so tired of all these scammers that are on Twitter, fucking Discord, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're on Snapchat as well. How much y'all want to bet me? But and also, I also want to help out people of how to avoid scammers and how to get the workaround and understanding scammers, because let me tell you, they are bad, man. But anyway, let's start the episode.
This man wants to know the truth about his internet girlfriend.
It's like, holy cow. When Jennifer reached out to me, it clicked. Apparently, she likes the way I look. I've been a fan of hers my whole life, so I've always liked the way she looked. I'm a huge fan. Finding my dream girl, is a dream.
She was beautiful and kind and one of the world's most famous women. There was just one problem.
She asked for $6,000 to purchase her wedding.
Okay, first of all, I'm pretty sure Jennifer Ashton doesn't need $6,000 just for a wedding dress, okay? At least I think that's what the scammer is trying to do here. And just the fact that this dude doesn't realize that's not Jennifer Ashton. Going to be super honest with y'all. Before I get back to this, I just want to be clear that what happened is that I accidentally delete this episode, so now I'm remaking it because I've accidentally delete this episode off of my computer because apparently last week, no, was it last week? I can't even remember, but apparently about maybe 2 days ago, my PC, my PC space was getting full, and I was just like, what the hell? And apparently, all I had to do was basically delete some of the footages that I do for gaming and other stuff. But anyway, let's continue.
Gown.
It says her net worth's like $300 million.
Why does she need $6,000?
She says she doesn't trust banks anymore.
Come on.
My house is on the market, so once it sells, I'll have some cash to show that I'm real and actually in love with her.
Join us on another catfish adventure. We'll find out if Allan is really with his celebrity crush or if it's just another celebrity imposter trying to crush his spirit.
I have cut off all chats with all other women. She has mentioned that we will have a very public wedding. Our exes will both get to see us on national TV getting married, and it'll tick them both off.
Dude, I'm just gonna say this right now. The fact that you're trying to get Jennifer Ashton just to make your ex jealous and not realizing that it was a scammer this whole time, that's not gonna be a good look for you, sir. It's gonna be jokes on you at the end of the day.
Before I send $6,000, maybe I can find somebody that can tell me who I'm talking to.
We can definitely do that.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your engagement with our videos help us reach new audiences and can potentially stop other people from being scammed.
Team, we got another case.
I would like to say, go check out Scamfish and their channel. They're actually fucking awesome, and I would highly recommend them if you're having trouble with online romance scams and all the other stuff. And also, just check out their content. It's actually, honestly, some of the stuff they do is actually pretty cool, honestly, and it's pretty funny of what kind of people that they encounter.
It's from a man named Allan. He sent us an email. He says, I've seen your videos about Jennifer Aniston scams, but I think there's a chance I am actually chatting with the real Jennifer Aniston. We first connected.
Okay, first of all, that's not the real Jennifer Aniston talking to him. It's a scammer. And I also want to reiterate, now, I'm pretty sure you guys have already realized this by now, but I just want to get down to talking about it because honestly, like, scammers are just basically a problem at this point. And basically what I wanted to talk about is like how scammers just like emotionally manipulate you into thinking that, oh, I'm Jennifer Ashton. I'm going to ask for $6,000 just so I can get a wedding dress. It's like, come on. It's basically just scammers just trying to manipulate you into thinking that they're Jennifer Ashton when they're really not. That's all they're doing at the end of the day. They're basically just manipulating others just to benefit their own bottom line. But anyway, let's continue.
Connected on Facebook, and now we're talking on Telegram. I haven't sent any money, but I do have some questions. I think you guys can get to the truth, Allan.
Hi, my name is Allan. I'm 59 years old, and I live in Central Texas in a small town called Burnett. My hobbies are hunting, fishing, swimming, that kind of thing. We lived on a 25-acre ranch in the middle of nowhere, and I had a deer blind, and I hunted. I had fun doing it. The biggest buck, it was a 10-point and pretty good sized. After many years of harvesting all my deer, we finally just got kind of tired of eating venison and quit shooting them. I am retired. I was a general contractor. I owned a custom cabinet shop in Austin, had several employees, and we did whole house remodels. After many years, rheumatoid arthritis hit me hard.
I'm going to sit here and say this right now. Arthritis fucking sucks, man. Not to mention, it basically just cripples certain things that you want to do in life.
I'm on full disability with Social Security. When I was 21, I married a 33-year-old, and that lasted for 5 years until I caught her having an affair. And then,
Oh, she was having an affair, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means. I would say it, but at the same time, I feel like it would be a little bit harsh. But she's a hoe.
and when I was 27, I got married again, and that lasted for 35 years. And we have 2 sons that are both adults now. And then we adopted the first orphan out of Haiti after the 2010 earthquake because there were...
Hang on, I actually want to read this. In Haiti's earthquake, earthquake orphans long for a home. UNICEF estimate that more than 2,000 children lost their parents in the January 12th quake and its aftermath. Relatives or neighborhoods are caring for many of these children. Others, such as a group of boys in a Port au Prince Park, are fending for themselves. Oh, wow. And this happened back in March 9th, 2010. I was like maybe 20 years old when that happened. No, wait a minute. No. Yeah, I would have to be in my 20s for that to happen. I want to say, though, I will say that shit kind of sucks, man. Ugh. I'm hoping all those poor boys, well, those lost children, find a home that they can actually, care for. I hope.
So many orphans now in Haiti because families got killed in that earthquake. And so...
Oh my god, that actually fucking sucks. They got killed? Damn, dude.
Somehow, parents died, but the kids survived. We got told that a lot of the kids would have amputations and all kinds of problems and issues. And we just trusted God and said, okay, sign us up. We'll adopt. And then we just out of the blue got a call from a friend at church, would we accept an infant? And we looked at each other and said, okay, yeah, we will. So he was age 4 months when he got here. He weighed 6 pounds, 3 ounces. He was starving to death as a 4-month-old. And he went straight to Dell Children's Hospital and spent about a week and a half there getting all kinds of treatments and tests and everything taken care of. And he is now 14.
I'm curious if they actually got vaccinated nowadays. I'm curious because... never mind, forget what I was going to say.
But he is with my soon-to-be ex-wife. I thought that my wife was getting help for our 14-year-old son, who has been arrested for family violence 3 times. She took him to Colorado to a home that would accept out-of-control children and counsel them and help them. I thought they were coming back after the training was done, and then all of a sudden I got a letter saying she thought we should file for a divorce. So...
Wow. What a fucking dick move, man. Did she even tell why?
Now we're in that process. She did not give me a reason, and in the letter that said we
Of course she didn't, because why? Because that's how she is.
should file for a legal divorce, it said something along the lines of, so you can live your life how you want to, or something like that.
So you can live your life how you want to. No, it's not about him or how he want to live his life. It's about how she want to live her life. Obviously.
Yeah. After 35 years of marriage, receiving a letter asking me for a divorce was a big shock and hit me hard. And being Christians, you know, that's not what Christians normally do. I thought about it for quite a while and
something tells me this woman is not a Christian.
Finally responded, and we decided that we would go into full agreement, pre-court, decide everything between ourselves, not involve lawyers.
With Allan's marriage coming to an end, he decided to try and make a fresh start by dating online.
I didn't start this online stuff until my wife had actually left me and filed for divorce. It had been more than a year since my ex-wife had left, so I had been here alone for more than a year. My first step was reinstalling Facebook. It's not the Facebook of old like it used to be, where it was all friends and family. Now it's all about meeting and dating and that kind of thing. The first one turned out to be a complete and utter fraud. They pretty much took a little bit money from me and then quit responding.
Oh, wow. And please tell me they did. And please tell me they did not take $12,000. Please say they didn't.
$12,000. Occasionally, they
Never mind.
still contact me to ask for more money, and I'm just saying, sorry, I can't. I'm broke. I don't have any money. And then they.
Okay, rule number 1. If you got a person that is just pretending to be somebody else, that's a scammer. And rule number 2, you don't give scammers money. Scammers are just being greedy. Let's be real with here.
They disappear for a while. It's clear that all they want from me is money. And then the second one, we didn't click. And that's where I encountered Jennifer for the first time. And then when Jennifer reached out to me, it clicked.
After a whole year of being alone, Allan could not believe his luck when he was approached by one of his celebrity crushes, a profile going by the name of Jennifer Aniston.
Apparently, she likes the way I look for some reason, and I've been a fan of hers my whole life. So I've always liked the way she looked. I've been a fan of hers since, the 80s and 90s when Friends was on.
Jesus Christ, I have not watched Friends in a long time. And I think excuse me, I can't talk today. I think that would always come on after they stopped showing Nickelodeon shows. Somewhere between I would think that maybe Friends would come on to maybe 8 or 9 o'clock p.m. Something to the variation.
It's like, holy cow, I'm a huge fan. Then she had us change over to Telegram for over a year. We talked about.
Good God. They're on Telegram too. Jesus Christ. Sounds like to me this dude has gotten to talk to scammers on Telegram. I wouldn't be surprised.
About everything. She pretty much knows my entire history and story and everything about me. We've both talked about loving each other and all that kind of stuff. Just, normal dating kind of conversations. We seem to click. Our conversations seem to be active and good. She usually refers to me as my husband, occasionally as baby, and I call her babe and sweetheart and Jennifer. Finding my dream girl, is a dream.
That's not your dream girl. I'm telling you that right now. That's just a scammer just trying to pretending to be Jennifer Ashton.
Allan felt he was the luckiest man in the world. He fell head over heels for one of the world's most successful and desired women. There was just one problem.
About 2 or 3 weeks ago, she claimed that her Telegram got hijacked or hacked and moved us over to Zangi. She's asked me repeatedly not to go back on Facebook because she knows it's a dating app now.
Okay. First of all, why would Jennifer Ashton, if I pronounce that right, why would Jennifer Ashton tell this dude not to go on Facebook again when knowing 9 times out of 10, Jennifer Ashton doesn't even use Telegram?
I've pretty much stayed off of Facebook out of respect for her. And then now she's asking me to stay off of Telegram because it got hacked.
Okay. First, the scammer tells this dude to get off, not to go on Facebook and not go on Telegram. If you got a scammer that's sitting there telling you to not go on Facebook and not go on Telegram, that should tell you something. But then again, it could be the other way around too. Scammers can hide on Telegram too, which is something y'all gotta watch out for. Because, believe it or not, I've ran into scammers on Telegram too. I shit you not. I swear to God. I'm not even joking about that.
After nearly a year of chatting every night, Jennifer and Allan's love had blossomed into a talk of marriage, and they had began to make plans for their big day.
Probably about 8 or 9 months, she asked for $6,000 to purchase.
Okay, why would Jennifer Ashton ask for $6,000 when she already has that kind of money already? You see what I'm saying? This is what scammers will say.
Her wedding gown, and she's telling me that her management team and her uncle and aunt are requiring me to send the money for the wedding gown to show that I'm real and actually in love with her. She wanted me to go to a Bitcoin machine and deposit cash into her.
Okay. That's a dead giveaway right there. See where she says, please just deposit cash into my Bitcoin account. Yeah. If you got a scammer that says stuff like that, or anything that has Bitcoin in the conversation, avoid them. Period.
Her Bitcoin account. She says she doesn't trust banks anymore. Right at the moment, I don't have it because I was just defrauded out of $12,000 and I'm still working to get that back.
I will never understand how people fall for this stuff, man. They should realize that scammers are just trying to emotionally manipulate others to benefit their own bottom line. Because, for one thing, they don't care who they hurt, and they don't care about other people. They only care about what's benefiting their own bottom line. Simple as that.
My house is on the market, so once it sells, I'll have some cash, and if I get my money back from the fraud, I'll have some cash. But until one of those two things happens, I can't afford $6,000 right now. I asked to hear her voice one time, and she sent me a small video of just her voice that sounded nothing like Jennifer Aniston. Voice didn't sound right. And she claimed it's because her phone has a bad speaker or bad microphone or something. We all know that Jennifer owns multiple mansions in California. I mean, you can Google her name and it'll show you right where her house.
She has multiple mansions. Jennifer Ashton has multiple mansions. And what does a scammer have? Nothing.
Houses and pictures of her house and all that. Her main living area is a $21 million mansion that she lives in. And this person I'm chatting with is telling me that she lives in an apartment that her uncle and aunt purchased for us to live in.
Okay, why would you rent an apartment for this dude and supposedly Jennifer Ashton, quote unquote, to live there when she literally got many of mansions to live in with this dude, quote unquote?
And that just doesn't make sense in my mind.
Of course
You
it
got
don't.
multiple houses in LA and San Francisco and around California. Why is family buying you an apartment for you and somebody you're in love with to live in?
Exactly.
Both of her parents are deceased, and that's why her family is now her uncle and aunt. I looked into it briefly and it seemed real. I'm a fan of the TV show Catfish.
I'm going to be super honest with y'all. I am a real fan of this channel, Catfish. I swear to God, go look at their channel, man. Like, honestly, go check them out and subscribe to them because they actually know their stuff and they know how to get scammers, like how to get a video of them and, not to mention, reveal what they look like. I shit you not.
I know how to reverse search. I have reverse searched every single photo she has sent me. The vast majority are from social media. Anybody can copy and paste those. There's been 2 to 3, maybe 4 that are not coming back as a match to.
Hold on, go back. Go back.
Anybody can copy and paste those. There's been.
You see how fake that shit is? Like, good God, man. Do you see? No, actually.
2 to 3, maybe 4.
Okay, you can clearly tell that shit is fake. Because look at the color of her skin, man. You can tell that is clearly fake. Right here. And look at the spelling. Allan France, it's me, your wife Jennifer. Joanna Ashton, I love you so much and I'm real for you, okay? I love you. Okay, first of all, this is not Jennifer Ashton. This is somebody else just trying to copy and just trying to Photoshop her head and trying to make it look like it is actually Jennifer Ashton telling him this. Seriously, how stupid do scammers have to be in order for people to fall for this shit?
That are not coming back as a match to anything on.
Did I just say scammer or did I say people? Never mind. I'm already getting a headache from this.
Line. So that gives me just a little glimmer of hope.
Jennifer Aniston was madly in love with Allan, but because of her status, she asked Allan to keep their love a secret in order to help protect their privacy.
I have mentioned that I've been talking to someone famous, and that's all I've said. Jennifer has asked me repeatedly to keep her name out of it. Everybody's.
I don't want the paparazzi to harass us. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna sit there and harass a scammer.
It's like, okay, my sister, who is a little bit older than I am, and her husband is the county judge, she told me to be very careful because there's lots of fraud and scams out there. And I just let it go, trying to figure out, what am I dealing with here? I don't want to slam the door prematurely. I am 60% that she's real and 40% that she's not. So I'm 60-40. I'm slightly more towards the real than I am towards the fake. I hope as we go through this process, in the outside chance that I'm actually chatting with the real Jennifer, that we don't tick her off and I lose her because of this. And I have cut off all chats with all other women. She has mentioned that we will have a very public, large wedding, and that our exes will both get to see us on national TV getting married, and it'll tick them both off.
I hate to be the bearer of the bad news, man, but I can tell you right now, you're not getting married to Jennifer Ashton anytime soon. This is a scammer basically trying to manipulate you into thinking that she is Jennifer Ashton. Honestly, I feel bad for this dude, man. Honestly, like, he deserves a wife. Seriously. Like, he honestly deserves a wife. It's just that I feel bad. He just got so caught up into this shit where it's just like he's talking to like scammers, and he doesn't realize, well, okay, I wouldn't necessarily say he was talking to scammers. I mean, I'm pretty sure this dude was talking to real women on Facebook, but at the same time, it's just not his type.
It would just warm my heart and make me feel wonderful.
It's going to make your heart feel wonderful, but at the same time, it's just going to make you feel more worse than what it is.
All right, Seekers, you know we had to get to the bottom of this. A few days later, Brienne, David, and I sat down to gather the evidence.
Why does he think he's talking to her?
Well, because he watched our other videos, and somehow, some way, these videos validated that he is talking to the real Jennifer Aniston.
So he's watching
Apparently he didn't get that memo where there was another video about somebody pretending to be Jennifer Ashton. Oh, well.
YouTube videos, and he's like, aha, that's why I'm talking to real Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Help me understand that.
Reading the email, it doesn't show any flashes of why he believes it, so I'm interested to find out.
So, like, what do we have to work with?
He said he received images.
That's a fake that's a fake photo, by the way, as you can tell by the color of their skin.
Of Jennifer, and he even heard her voice. They met on Facebook, so he has a profile there. Something interesting, though, is that he is actually going through a divorce right now. It's supposed to be finalizing soon, and all of a sudden, Jennifer is now asking for $6,000.
Jennifer Aniston is a millionaire.
Exactly. That's exactly what I've been saying. Why would she need $6,000 for something? Oh my God. Why would she need $6,000 when she already got that kind of money already when she's a millionaire? It just doesn't make any sense, man. Like I said, scammers are just trying to manipulate you to benefit their own bottom line. Plain and simple.
Google this. It says her net worth's like $300 million.
Why does she need $6,000?
Supposedly, they're going to get married, and she wants $6,000 for it.
Last time I checked, Jennifer Ashton is not poor. Like, super, like, I'm gonna talk 100 here. Like, last time I checked, Jennifer Ashton is a millionaire. Why would she be sitting on her ass asking another person $6,000 when she already got that already? And she can spend $6,000 on anything she wants.
The wedding dress. Another thing we could do, along with the information that he sent over to us, we could send her an IP tracker and just confirm her location.
Obviously, we'll go through her social media and then verify that. Any other contact, whether like she's communicating via phone or email, we can verify that.
Yeah.
All right. We got a game plan.
A few days later, Brienne and I decided to touch bases and discuss developments in Allan's case.
So Brienne, how are we doing on research with Allan?
There are some key details that we need to look into. He mentioned that Jennifer Aniston's aunt and uncle would like to help them buy a new apartment.
I'm sure Jennifer Aniston has several big
I'm
houses.
sure she does. What I want to do is just
Jesus, oh my God, man, this, it's just fucking ridiculous.
do a little bit of digging, see if she's purchased any new homes recently, what her housing situation looks like.
What about the images that he said he ran through the reverse image search?
There are 3 images that he sent us.
Now, if I remember correctly, when I did this episode, well, my episode of this, from what I could tell, the lamp, it's a real one, but the other one that has the different color of her skin, that's the fake one, I think.
Where he is not able to find them at all on social media. He even...
Actually, never mind. I'm gonna go back here.
Search.
There are 3 images that he sent us where he is not able to find them at all on...
Yep, this has to be the real one, because if you notice, the tone of her skin is right here, and not to mention her arm matches with her head.
social media. He even looked them up himself. He reverse image searched each of them, and he feels like this could be real because he can't find the matches to these images anywhere. So what I'd like to do is take these 3 images and run them through our reverse image search tools to see if we can find any matches.
Well, I mean, it sounds like we have everything we need for you and David to sit down and start digging in.
At this point, we're just waiting for the results of the IP tracker, and hopefully Jennifer clicks on the link.
Perfect.
All right, Seekers, you know
Which they will most likely will.
weren't gonna make this easy for us. After a few weeks and many unsuccessful attempts to get Jennifer to click on her IP tracker, Bree and David got together to see if they could hatch a plan to make the link irresistible for whoever was behind this Jennifer
And like I said when I did this video previously, I almost guarantee you that it's a scammer from Lagos, Nigeria. Calling it now.
Aniston profile to click on it.
So do you remember the case with Allan and he thinks he's talking to Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. Another one.
So we've completed all the research for this case, but I really want to send this person an IP tracker and get them to click on it.
Okay.
So I created a link to this wedding dress website. And the thing is they didn't click on the link. So do you have any ideas? I want to create another link and get them to click on it.
They've been talking about getting married.
Getting married, wedding dresses, wedding destinations, honeymoon.
I mean, we have that map website, right? That we use for the IP tracker.
Yeah.
Why don't we use that site? People talk about wedding destinations all the time. So we'll find a wedding destination, we'll put it in our map website that's the IP tracker,
Okay.
drop that link, and then just be like, what do you think about this destination for where we want to get married, and see what they say.
All right, I'll try it out right now.
Okay.
Okay.
A few days later, we sat down to give Allan the cold hard truth about this profile claiming to be Jennifer Aniston. Stick around until the end. We'll find out if Allan is really dating one of the biggest stars in the world, or if he's just falling for another fantasy dreamt up by a romance scammer. If you're looking to contact us and you think you might need our help finding out who you're communicating with online, or maybe you need help breaking through to a friend or a family member, don't hesitate to reach out to our email, sharemystory@socialcatfish.com.
Seriously, I want to recommend this channel because, Jesus Christ, so many scammers everywhere. And I don't understand how many people keep falling for this. Seriously though, real talk, go check them out because I've actually subscribed to their channel, and let me tell you, Social Catfish is just so great, like I just couldn't believe it.
We can help you find the answers you've been looking for.
It's good to see you again, Allan.
I mean, how are you feeling? I mean, leading up to this, I mean, what's going through your mind?
Anxious to see how things go. I think the last time we talked, I told you that I had a few more doubts and kind of went down to about 40-60. And I'd say today I'm at about 50-50.
Why are you teeter-tottering so much?
Just the conversations I'm having with her and that kind of thing.
Does it make you feel good? I mean, having that person to talk to all the time, or?
Yes, absolutely.
And how are you feeling toward like the person you're talking to?
We've connected on so many levels, and I have a, genuine love for her and wanting to meet her and be with her. But like I told you from the beginning, I'd like to know who it is that I'm actually talking to.
The reason why you're teeter-tottering is because you just want to test out the waters just to check and see who it actually is.
So do you think that there's a chance that you're talking to somebody that's not Jennifer Aniston?
I think there's the possibility, because in my research before I met y'all, I can see there's a lot more scams than there are Jennifer Anistons. There's only one of her, and there's plenty of scams out there. So I was just trying to get to the bottom of it before I started sending money.
And what's
Honestly, that's pretty smart.
making you feel like this is real? I mean, what's that 50%?
I think I mentioned to Brianne before that about half the pictures she sent me, I cannot find a match on Google Match at all. And that tells me that perhaps it has to be the real Jennifer, because they're not coming from social media or something like that.
That's because you're using Google Images, Allan.
I'm sorry. I couldn't stop laughing. Just the fact that David just had to tell this dude, oh my God, that's so damn funny. My apologies if I'm laughing. It's just, oh my God. It's too damn funny, man. Like, just... I just find it funny of the fact that David just flat out, just straight up told him, you're using Google Images, which, you can't necessarily find the exact same photo on Google Images.
Google Images is not a great tool to find people.
Okay.
It was Jennifer Aniston's birthday 2 days ago. How did that go?
It went pretty well. And I sent you the video of me singing happy birthday to her.
I love you, I love you, I love you. I really want to marry you. I love you, I love you, I love you. That way we can both say I do.
She was a little...
I have to admit, he has a nice voice. He does. I kind of like it, to be honest. Granted, he's not a good granted, he's somewhat decent at singing, but still, he has a very nice voice.
little sad that we weren't together yet, but my house hasn't sold yet. Waiting for that.
So what's stopping her? I mean, this is like one of the richest movie stars, and she can fly on private jets and do all sorts of things. So what's stopping her from coming to visit you?
She wants me to spend $6,000 and send to her for her wedding gown that her family and management are asking her to have me do to prove that I'm real and that I'm interested.
Why would she need $6,000? Why? When she already got that herself. She's a millionaire. Never mind.
And at the moment, I don't have that much money to send available to send to her. And so I'm waiting for my house to sell, and then I will have that much money to send to her. And I was just thinking about it and all the scams out there, and that's why I reached out to y'all. It's like, before I send $6,000,
Right.
maybe I can find somebody that can tell me who I'm talking to.
Well, we can definitely do that. Well, we have a bunch of stuff we're gonna reveal to you today. So we ran all the images, and Brianne and the research team, they were actually able to find matches, for the pictures that we sent. And so if you look, this first picture right here, this is the picture that the person that you're talking to sent you, right? There's this note right here, and if you look, this is the exact same picture, but this is the real picture, Allan. So somebody took that picture, and then they photoshopped this letter to you.
They photoshopped it, but at the same time, they didn't use the exact same. But at the same time, they use this some kind of handwriting. That's another thing you gotta watch out as well, because one thing you gotta know about scammers is that they don't necessarily have good handwriting. Unless proven otherwise, then you know what? I'll shut the hell up.
Yep, I had that suspicion. The only thing that made me doubt it is the background is a little different and the clothing is a little different. The hair at the bottom left is also a little different. And that's the only thing that made me think, well, okay, maybe she just happens to look that way most of the time and maybe it is real.
So if you were to take those pictures, Allan, and you were to superimpose them on top of each other, they would match up perfectly. Yes, there's some small changes in the hair, there's a small change in the background, but look at the lamp in the background, look how big that lamp is compared to her head. I mean, that's probably like a 6-foot lamp, you know, if you think about like how big that countertop is in the back. I mean, it's literally taller than the counter. So the other thing I'm gonna share with you is the handwriting. And so if you look at the handwriting,
like I was saying earlier, just look at the handwriting. I'm pretty sure that Jennifer Ashton doesn't exactly have the exact same handwriting as this scammer was doing as of right now.
That is in the original image, it's significantly different than Jennifer Aniston's handwriting. This was a note with her actual handwriting and her signature. And
okay, notice this, that this is Jennifer Ashton's handwriting, but if you go back, this is not her handwriting. But I'm pretty sure you guys have already figured that out already. It's just, I don't understand, man. Like, how do people keep falling for these scammers? And I get it. Like, well, actually, there is no excuse. People should know better not to go around and fall for these kinds of scams. Like, having a scammer tell them that they love you, but they only just want you for your money, and they're just emotionally manipulating you just to benefit their bottom line. Like I've been saying. I know I've said that 5 times, but at the same time, it's just, I can't really stress that enough.
Handwriting that is in the original image, it's significantly different than Jennifer Aniston's handwriting. This was a note with her actual handwriting and her signature, and this is what it looks like. It doesn't match at all the handwriting that you were given.
Yep, I see that.
They actually photoshopped it. So now you know where it came from.
When we spoke last about Jennifer Aniston's birthday the other day, you mentioned that she wasn't doing anything. She hadn't mentioned being out and about anywhere. What I did find was a post on her Instagram where she had launched a pop-up in LA with Selena Gomez, and that just happened this past weekend. It was a huge event. Did she not mention to you where she had been within the last week?
Nope, not at all.
Something that had popped up was the fact that she was getting prepared for her 56th birthday, which was this week. And in preparation of that birthday, she just purchased a $14.8 million mansion in Montecito. Did Jennifer mention anything about this?
No.
What's going through your head right now?
It's looking like y'all are figuring out that I'm talking to a scammer.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it's going.
What did you just
About
say?
this?
No.
What's going through your head right now?
It's looking like y'all are figuring out that I'm talking to a scammer.
Gee, you don't say. What gave you that idea, man? When you realize that's who you've been talking to this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it's going. I mean, if you think about the logic too, Allan, the fact that her team wants you to spend $6,000 on a wedding dress when realistically...
And again, why would she need $6,000 for a wedding dress? For a wedding dress, when she can literally buy that stuff on her own because she's a millionaire. I mean, come on.
If she got married, she'd probably spend $50,000 on a wedding dress, right? I mean, she's buying a $14 million home. So why would she make, you know, an everyday person like you, like you're a really nice, great person, but why would she make someone like you that $6,000 is a lot of money You know, it just doesn't make sense, right?
Yep. That's why I reached out to y'all, is to get to the bottom of it.
Do you want to know where this person is?
Sure.
Well, we created the first tracker and she didn't click on the first one. So we had to come up with a game plan to create a new tracker. You mentioned you guys had a conversation about your potential honeymoon and where that would be. So I found a website and I directed the IP tracker link to that website, and this person clicked on it. And they are from Lagos, Nigeria.
Yep, I figured they were from Nigeria. That's
Called it. Like I said, that's where mostly scammers are. And honestly, like, real talk, real quick, like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, scammers can be anywhere. They could be in the EU, freaking United States. I mean, they could probably be anywhere where you live at right now. That's the thing you gotta worry about. Where they live and how far they are. You gotta watch out for people because there are just certain people that you just can't trust, man. Believe me, I should know. I've learned that shit the hard way. And you know, when growing up, it was kind of hard for me to who to trust and who not to trust. And, you know, after growing up, at the end of the day, you just gotta be more self-aware of people and what they do. And I always say, trust is built with actions, not words. You have to pay attention to their actions, not their words.
That's where most scammers are out of these days. I've seen that on y'all's videos multiple times.
Now that you know all this information, like, what are the next steps for you?
Well, number one is I'm not sending $6,000.
Smart.
That's a good start.
I suppose.
Now you're getting it.
Is that number two? I will share some of this information with the person I'm chatting with and say goodbye. I had noticed in some of the chatting that we've done quite a few misspellings and that kind of thing.
That's another thing you got to be self-aware as well. Misspellings. Scammers have a tendency of misspelling. If you got a scammer that is misspelling words, that's a dead giveaway. I can tell you that right now. That is a giveaway of a scammer. Misspelling. That's another thing you got to pay attention to.
Kind of made me think, you know, somebody as wise and smart as Jennifer Aniston would not be misspelling words like that. They would always spell the word once, O-N-E-S.
I mean, Allan, hindsight's 2020, right? So now looking in hindsight, like, why do you think you fell for this?
Wanting to.
So let me get this straight, dude. You're basically just falling for this because you're wanting to? Seriously? That's your reasoning for all of this? Come on.
Something you mentioned before was that, you know, Jennifer Aniston was your dream girl, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've watched the TV show Friends back from the origination of it.
Jesus Christ, man. I have not watched Friends in a long time. God, it's been a while. I don't think I even watched Friends. And that would normally come on after Nickelodeon's cartoons are off for the night.
Back in the 80s. Yeah, I got over 200 recordings of the TV show Friends on my...
200 recordings of Friends? That's ridiculous. Okay, maybe not ridiculous, but at the same time, 200? Although, I gotta say, like, Friends as a show, it's pretty damn awesome. I will say that.
DVR.
Wow, 200?
So you're a
that's a
hardcore
lot,
fan.
man.
Did you think you fell for this because you just wanted it to believe it so bad?
Yeah, that's part of it. I've seen so many videos and stories about Jennifer Aniston scams. That's why I reached out to y'all.
Okay. I can't necessarily fault this dude for this. If he's seen this so many times, why did he even try to even do it in the first place? And I understand because, like, he is wanting to, but at the same time, you know what? Never mind. Some people just don't learn.
Because I want to know what the truth is more than anything else. And finding out that I'm chatting with someone in Nigeria and all that is very helpful and will let me make the right moves henceforth.
Are you going to continue to date online?
Don't know. We'll see how it goes.
So what's the reason why you're ignoring all the red flags? You knew all of them up front.
I guess the best answer would be hope.
You held on to that.
I'm going to be super honest with y'all. When it comes to online dating, you gotta be real careful, man. And the reason why I say this is because we got a lot of people nowadays that are just ignoring the red flags. And, you know, that's what's important, is you gotta look in the red flags. Red flags are super important because, and I get it, not many people care about that shit nowadays, but they should. I mean, God forbid if you're going around, God forbid if you're dating somebody who doesn't really appreciate you and just try to make you a side person, if you catch my drift.
Hope, and now you know it's not real. Like, do you feel like brokenhearted? Do you feel like you've broken up with somebody? Like, how are you feeling there?
Not really brokenhearted. I'm a little sad, but, you know, more like, I don't know, like the neighbor's dog died kind of sad.
Keep in mind that these scammers, they use scripts to talk to you. So everything's scripted.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they're talking to you, you were saying how you connected on this deep level. It's all like fabricated. You know, it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, the things that they tell you and the way that they make you feel, it's scripted to make you feel that way. If you go back to your chats now, I encourage you to relook at them and go back, and you'll start seeing that they say nice things to you. And then right after that, they're like, what about the money? What about this? What about that?
I understand completely.
That's another thing you gotta look into, is that, you know, scammers will sit there and try to say nice things, but eventually they will get aggressive if they don't get what they want. Like I said, they're trying to emotionally manipulate you into getting what they want. Because if they don't get their way, they're gonna get pissy. Like, that's a fact. 100. They emotionally manipulate people to get whatever they want, and if they get whatever they want, they're happy. But when scammers don't get whatever they want, they're just gonna get pissy, and get angry about it.
And, you know, she didn't demand the money too much. She just said that she couldn't come here on her private jet until I proved to her family and management
When knowing the scammer doesn't have a private jet anyways.
that I was real. That's why I reached out to you, is because of those red flags. Even though I was 60-40 when I met y'all are convincing me that it's about 0-100.
You're not going to be able to come to us every time you're talking to someone online. So what are you going to do for yourself when you do see these red flags?
Live and learn. You know, if it's a red flag, I need to pay more attention to it and give it more credit than just writing it off.
And Allan, you seem like such a really nice, like, genuine person. Like, you really do. And I don't think you're gonna have any difficult time whatsoever actually meeting a real person. But you gotta meet them, and they have to be willing to meet up for coffee or, you know, lunch or dinner or whatever.
And I also want to take a minute and talk about this. When it comes to online dating, make sure, and this is the number one thing you got to pay attention to, is that they have to be willing to do. I forgot what I was going to say. They have to be willing to do FaceTime or video chat, or actually meet you, like, per se, like, if y'all were to actually meet this real person, the love of your life, and you have to ask him, will you meet me to, like, let's just say your favorite restaurant, like McDonald's, Burger King, or Wawa's, You know, I have never been to Wawa's, and I don't even know what that place is like, to be honest.
None of these fabricated, online people.
You are the last person that we are going to sit down
Yeah, no
for
more
a Jennifer Aniston romance scam.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Allan.
We're so glad that we could help you out. We wish you the best of luck, and we're here for you at any time, okay?
All right. Thank y'all.
Okay, bye.
Just moments after the review, Allan confronted the Jennifer profile about being located in Lagos, Nigeria. Good for him, dude, because, like I said, when it comes to online romance, you gotta watch out for people and what they do, because you don't know what's going on behind the keyboard.
Here we go.
Haha! I just love that. He just basically just put all that information and said, funny, because last time I checked, you're from Lagos, Nigeria. He just basically one up the scammer, basically. Allan then blocked the Jennifer profile for good, and he decided to take a hiatus from online dating. Good for him, honestly. Honestly, good for him. If I was in his situation, I would definitely take a break from online dating, that's for damn sure, after considering of the fact that he was talking to a scammer who emotionally manipulated him. Is that it?
If you have been involved in a romance scam, don't forget to report it. It helps get the word out and potentially stops other people from being scammed. Seekers, it's almost time.
Well, I think that's all the time I have for this video, and honestly, I hope you guys learned something, because honestly, I want to just... The reason why I'm making these videos is because... Or, what am I trying to say here? The reason why I'm making this commentary is because, like I said, I want to help out people and try to avoid scammers. Help out people avoid scammers and, help avoid scammers out in the street. And, just be careful with online dating, period. Because it's really hard out there. And I can't imagine, a lot of people getting their heart broken and dealing with online scammers who are just I can't talk today. Emotionally manipulating others just to benefit their own bottom line. But that's all the time I have for this episode, and I will see you guys later. And remember to stay classy. Y'all have a good one. See you later.